This is Ready Set Reiki, a podcast about Reiki, the universal energy life force, from the curious beginner to the seasoned master teacher, welcoming all systems, all lineages, and all levels. Reiki is a journey and not a destination. And on this Ready Set Reiki journey, I refer to myself as a guide rather than a host. So I'm Tracy Seawright, and this is Ready Set Reiki. Hello, beautiful listeners. Welcome, Ready Set Reiki. So today I have a wonderful guest, Carolyn Wood. Now, she is a certified heart healer, hypnotherapist, and mind coach. And she is the founder of the High Vibe Besties Book Club, where we read a book a month, all topics such as manifesting, mindset, spirituality, personal development, etc. And as a certified heart healer, hypnotist, and mindset coach. Welcome, Carolyn Wood, to Ready, Set, Reiki.
Hello, thank you so much. I'm very, very delighted to be here and to chat with you and your listeners today, Tracy.
Wonderful. So let's begin our journey together. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am a South African living in Malta on a beautiful Mediterranean island. I highly recommend anyone to come for a visit. I have been living here for about 8 years now. And I guess my journey into the healing world began at the tender age of 13 when I lost my mom to leukemia. Within a few months, we then lost our home and everything that we knew. So my whole life literally got turned upside down on its head. I spent the next 3 decades numbing myself, doing anything to kind of escape real life. And then not long after I moved to Malta, I lost 2 friends in the UK to suicide. And it prompted those questions. Why am I here if this is how we end? From the outside looking in, both those women, they came from very different styles of living, but they seemed to have everything that they wanted,
Yeah.
So I went down the spiral. Why are we here if this is what happens? And I could feel like that's where I was headed as well if I didn't, kind of figure out the answer to those questions or how to kind of, correct my path. And I came across the law of attraction, so I started following that. And then I started learning about the higher self, so I started learning more about that. And then I started coming across all these different modalities, emotional freedom technique, and then I trained in rapid transformational therapy, and then I trained in heart healing most recently. And honestly, it saved my life, all of these things, because I realized that I was giving my power away. I didn't know how to make decisions for myself. So I put all that responsibility onto other people. And, I see now that wasn't fair.
Right.
Their own lives and their own, stuff to deal with. But I didn't know any other way. And honestly, a very recent realization that I had not that long ago is actually I've been living in a anxiety, stress state probably for my whole life. Definitely at least since the age of 13. But my parents emigrated to South Africa when my mom was 7 months pregnant with me, and my sister was like 14 months old, and my brother was about 4.5. And she was moving away from everything that she knew. So I truly believe that I absorbed all of her stress and anxiety through leaving everything that she knew, her family, her support system, and then coming to South Africa. So I believe I've been living in the state of like stress and anxiety my whole life. And I didn't realize because I thought it was normal. So I didn't know that there was any other way of living. And it's like in the last 9 months, it's kind of I've burnt out a couple of times, and but what it's done is it's forced me to take real action and to kind of move through that fear, which is so exciting.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry for your loss. What grief does to us, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it really, and when you look at it, you've used those experiences as your teacher. to
Yeah.
help guide you to learn. And we don't realize that we're living in this state of high function anxiety until like, whoa. And then the burnout comes and,
Yeah.
you're needing to reset. So, but, here you are through all of it, going and taking the knowledge that you've gained and you're out helping others and being of service to others. So, how beautiful is that?
My heart's, flying.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, you have a particular modality that you are trained in. You're a certified heart healer, which makes complete sense with your journey of life here. When did this come into your life?
So actually the the word heart healing I channeled that word in
Mhm.
around 2020 before I knew what heart healing was. And I actually
Mhm.
thought that I was channeling it because I thought it was going to be something that I was going to create.
Oh.
And then a few months later, I came across Natasha Lee Bray and her School of Healing Mastery. And she was just kind of starting to market this modality as heart healing. And it was just through taking part in one of her kind of free webinars where she includes a mini taster session of what heart healing is. And I was just like, wow, this feels so good. Like it's helped me to kind of get to a memory. Like the webinar was about, I think it was about the enoughness wound. I've done quite a few of her free ones. I'm not sure
Beautiful.
which was the first, but it was probably to do with the enoughness wound, like not feeling enough, not feeling good enough, smart enough, capable enough, all of the enoughness things. And I experienced transformation just through that mini group taster session that she delivered.
Beautiful.
And it took me another year or two, I think, before I decided to invest and learn how to actually, deliver it myself. Because at the time when I came across it, I was already learning rapid transformational therapy. So two things
Mhm.
at once, too much. So, so I finished RTT, which I absolutely loved, and then I started heart healing, which it just feels like me because, like you said, my heart has carried so much grief, and
Mm.
my whole thing is it's all about love. Like if you can tap into this universal, unconditional love that you carry within your heart for yourself and for everyone else, then this is the key to kind of mastering your existence. It's the key to creating the life that you desire because you're living in that high vibrational of love. And when you're in that state, you're a magnet to everything that you desire, the opportunities, the relationships, the whatever it is that you're calling into your life, you become the magnet to them.
Beautiful. So through these other modalities, it has helped you kind of get back to your true authentic self. So as you're out navigating, working with so many individuals, as you are going through and as you're connecting, what are some of the common misconceptions, whether it's about the heart healing or the healing arts, that you find that people are telling you about what you do? What are those common misconceptions?
So the common misconceptions, I would say, heart healing is a hypnotherapy-based modality. So unfortunately, in the world that we've been living in, there's a lot of, stage hypnosis out there. So
Yeah.
people truly believe that they're not in control, where actually it's the complete opposite. Because the whole thing with hypnosis is you become super focused, you become more in control because you're going inwards. And it's like your subconscious is taking over and it's guiding you where you need to go, and it's helping you to access memories that on a conscious level you're blocking yourself from because they feel too painful in one way or another. Or maybe you experienced embarrassment or shame when you were a kid, and so your subconscious goes, well, I don't want to remember that ever again, so I'm going to
Mm.
lock that away. But that might be impacting how you're showing up in your life today. So hypnotherapy is nothing to be fearful of. It's allowing you to get to know yourself better and to help you to understand the reason why you have certain behaviors, the reason why you might feel intimidated in certain situations, or you might think that people are talking about you when actually they're not, but it's just this sensitivity, because each time you experience a hurtful experience as a child, that memory is stored in your cells, and it's stored at that age. And that memory doesn't grow in age and maturity with you as you grow in age and mature. It stays there. So if you're 3 years old and you experience something, the very first time you experience that emotion, let's say it is embarrassment, that memory is stored as a 3-year-old. And so you will find, and you will know, like if you stop and you reflect on how maybe you when you feel threatened, you get really angry, you'll realize that the way that you're behaving is actually the way that you behaved when you were 3 years old. You freaked out.
Yeah.
And so that is the truth of it, so through doing these modalities like RTT and heart healing and many other modalities out there, you're kind of accessing that memory, and you're allowing that child, that inner child, to heal, to grow, and to feel safe again, and to start responding and reacting as an adult who is able to interrupt those thought patterns so that they can reframe them.
Beautiful. So on your journey of healing to help you become whole and, helping yourself, loving yourself within, what has been the biggest challenge or struggle you have faced in your own healing journey?
Definitely overcoming the negative scarcity mindset. And it's funny, it's not something that I would have said even 2 months ago, but this is when you realize and you can start to understand how much of your life is being directed through negative thought patterns that you don't even know are there. That is so, it's challenging. And the older you are, the more challenging it is to change that, because you've had, like for me, almost 50 years of, kind of living with a negative mindset. And so it's unconscious, and it's replaying, and it's going around and around and around and around. And until you can learn to stop it and interrupt it and to redirect those thoughts somewhere else, it's just going to keep on going round and round and round. And that just adds to all of that unhappiness and all of those heavy emotions that you're carrying inside. And my belief is that the reason why people have midlife crises is because our bodies, our hearts, our souls can only hold so much, and we run out of space. And when we're repressing everything, we're just packing it in. We're packing it in harder, tighter, more and more and more, until eventually there's nowhere else for it to go. It's like packing your underwear drawer, unless you're throwing away old underwear.
Right.
Imagine if you had all the knickers that you've been wearing since you were 2 years old. You'd need like a whole room to, kind of house this. You've got to get rid of the old stuff in order to make space for the new. And so this is it. This is why I think people have like meltdowns and overwhelm and all of these things, because there's nowhere else for the emotions to go. And it comes out in ways that you don't want it to, as an anger explosion, or as just breaking down in tears, or as stress and anxiety, or as in a lot of cases as well, physical manifestations. People will get physically sick, diseases and illness and migraines and, crippled and all of these things.
Right. And it made me think of yesterday. I also, in addition to Reiki, teach yoga, and I was heading off to my class and carrying all the things in my arms. And I knew it was a little too much. I knew it. I'm like holding it. And I have a little essential oil glass that every class I go to, people just enjoy it. And I had a little bit left, and I don't know what happened, but here it falls out, I drop things.
Mhm.
So, and that just shows you, I know I'm carrying too much,
Yeah.
I know I'm, feeling uncomfortable here. And then you drop it and I'm like, you know, and that can sort of be how you are in life. Things happen.
Yeah.
I often find myself moving along one thing after another, and then it's one small thing,
Yeah.
like a glass breaking or dropping that oil, and then and
Yeah.
it's so
Exactly.
overreactive, but
Yeah.
it's carrying all of that too. And it's so wonderful how that's worded with the heart of what we pick up and what we carry.
Mhm.
Sometimes, as you said, we suppress this and it comes out in different ways. I was in a group and we were talking about how as women we had things spoken over us, and a couple of women shared some things, and it reminded me of when I was younger, I was interested in acting. Now, I didn't think like I'm going to go and be a superstar in Hollywood, but I was just fascinated by it. So I had gotten a little scholarship to go, there was a place in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I lived, to go take acting classes. And I remember studying it, and I was at that time, believe it or not, very shy and backwards. But I remember one of my uncles saying to me, "Who do you think you are, Brooke Shields?" And
Yeah.
I was like, I was, maybe 9 or 10 years old at the time. Right. And then that kind of
Mhm.
stuck with me, like, oh my
Yeah.
goodness. And then I remember that as we were talking, but then I also remember that Brooke Shields had just been, I guess she had published a book and shared
Mhm.
all the crazy things. So her life wasn't
Mhm.
so perfect. Right. But I knew that now as an adult, but not as a kid. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
guess I'm not. I mean, nothing becomes between her and her joy dash. Right. I just so yeah, it's just amazing. But now I have the tools to help me navigate for that. Like, oh well, he
Yeah.
probably didn't know any better. And I'm sure he didn't mean it that way in
Of
a
course
hurtful
not.
way.
Yeah.
He probably just said it sarcastic
Yeah.
and as himself now, if I mention it to him, he probably like, oh, I'm sorry, not
Yeah.
even realize it. But yeah, it's interesting what kind of sticks to you.
Yeah.
So when it is time for you to get an energetic tune-up, what qualities do you look for either in a heart healing practitioner or someone who does the healing arts?
So I want someone who takes into consideration heart, mind, body, and soul. It's very important. It's not just one thing, it's everything. The universal law, I've forgotten what they say, how they say it now. I talk about it all the time, and then
I
whenever
know,
I use
right?
the word, it stops. But yeah, all is one, or we are all one. We are all basically the universal law that says we are all one.
Yes.
um, we are all connected, and that means the healing is not linear. It's not just, oh, I need to do this. It's like, okay, so what could be the root cause? How is it impacting my body? How is it impacting my mind? How am I feeling in my heart? Am I packing it in, or am I unpacking it in a healthy way?
Mm.
Because there's also unpacking in an unhealthy way. So yeah, for me, it's very important that they take all of those four aspects into context. And I want to feel a connection. Like, for me, the most important thing is I create a safe space for my clients, and they all mention that, and they all comment on how they feel seen and heard when they're working with me. And so I want that from someone as well. I want to know that whatever I say to them is confidential, and and usually when they come and ask me for a testimonial, absolutely. And I will tell the world whatever it was that came up. But I want to know that they are impeccable with their word, and that they will honor the confidentiality of whatever's happening in our session together.
Oh, beautiful. So hypnotherapist therapy has get a little gain of popularity on TikTok. So do you have any like red flags that as someone who's interested in that should be cautious when choosing a hypnotherapist?
I think you just need to feel aligned with someone. Do the research, like your energy never lies, and so listen to what you feel. If something doesn't feel right, move on, and people, like, we're all unique, we're all individuals, and we all have different ways of expressing and getting kind of our messages across, and so just honor what you need. And it is very big at the minute. There is a lot of it out there. Your heart knows. Listen to your heart. Your heart will tell you who to follow.
Very good. What advice would you give someone who's just entering this spiritual work or the healing arts?
Ooh, buckle up, baby. It's about to get real interesting. Listen, I mean, anybody who's on this path will say, and I know I say to some of my friends, sometimes, like, oh, when it's really hard, it feels like you are in sinking sand, and it feels like you're walking through tar, and it feels really, really hard. And you have those moments where you're like, oh, I just want to go back to not knowing. I just want to go back. But almost as soon as you have that thought, you're like, actually, no, I know that that's not what I want. I know that, because I also know that this too is going to pass. And when I get to the other side of it, I'm going to feel so much better.
Right.
And the beauty is you manage to navigate those times, those sludgy times, much, much faster. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more you don't shy away from doing it, I know now the things that will help me to start feeling better again. And because I've been working on my subconscious and I've been training and reframing my thoughts, it's much easier for me now to interrupt those negative thought patterns. So persistency, consistency, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard, do your best to remain consistent and persistent without pushing yourself into overwhelm. You do have to listen to your body as well. But it will pay off. It feels really hard at the beginning, but it becomes so much easier to navigate those hard times. And very soon, the good times outweigh the bad times by so much.
Right. I have a friend, she wrote a book several years ago, and I love the way that she made this connection. She said that a journey, a spiritual journey, is like the yellow brick road. When you, from, Wizard of Oz, when you get off of it, the darkness happens, right? What happens when they had the chaos. But as long as you stick on that path as best as you can, you'll get to, the Emerald City, which is the heart chakra. So that's kind of how she looked at it. So, but many people start this journey because they want to help others. And then this is when all the things come, the mirror shown, the shadow work comes, and it's like, what's happening? And you got to get all of that muck out of the way before you're of service. So a lot of people forget that. They just get so excited. I can't wait to get out and teach this. I can't wait out to do this. And then they're realizing, oh, I have some work to do. And it's a constant work. I mean, it's not a one and done. It's a cumulative thing that you're working on. And just when you thought you're healed, okay, I thought I was done with this. I lost my sister 5 years ago, and I'll walk into a store and I'll see something and I'm like, oh, here it is. And then, but I have the tools now to stop, breathe, right? And it's not as intense. So instead of it being a 10, it might be like, okay, it's a 3. So
my heart goes out to you.
Thank you. So what books do you recommend?
Because I have this book club now, I'm actually remembering the titles of books. So it's awesome.
Oh, beautiful.
One of my favorite books that we've read so far is The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. You obviously know it. You're nodding your head. I absolutely love it. I think it's a great guide to kind of helping you to stay true to your path. This month we just read Anatomy of the Spirit by Carolyn Wood. This book was written about 30 years ago now, I think. I think she wrote it in 94, 95, something like that. And wow, like I got so much out of there. And for anyone who's on a spiritual journey, I highly recommend that, because it goes through. She's a medical intuitive, and she basically first of all gives like her journey as to how she came here, and then she goes. She's taken like the Kabbalah, she's taken the Christian religion, and she's taken the Eastern chakras, and she's found the commonalities between the three of them. And so it's like something that I've always believed in, like religion comes from one source. It's like the people that have chosen, they've cherry picked the pieces that they want to form their religions on. So I love that she's taken these three, concepts, religions, and she's found like, the links, the commonalities of how they all linked up and how they all teach the same thing, but we're just so blocked off we don't want to see it. And it shows, she goes through each of the chakra energy points, and it links up the emotional distress, how it manifests in the body, and how you can kind of move through it. So I highly recommend that one. And then the other one that I loved was The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, which just is, it's an easy read, it's a short read, but it's a kind of a lesson in stretching outside of your comfort zone and just following the signs.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. Is your High Vibe Besties book club online, or is it in person?
No, it's online. I do it all online. We read a book a month, and throughout the month, I will be reviewing kind of each chapter or 20 pages, and I record a mini podcast episode and I upload it to a platform so the people can go and they can either watch me on a video like watching TV, or they can just listen to it like a podcast episode. There's an audio version as well. And then at the end of the month, we jump on a Zoom call and we talk about it, basically our biggest takeaways. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what other services do you offer? Do you offer classes, events, workshops, trainings?
Yeah, so I'm actually working at the minute. I'm hoping to release on the 1st of May, the Feel Good Academy, the School of Life. So it's basically going to be a membership, a membership site school, I guess, and it's going to be starting with kind of an exploration into the subconscious mind and how the subconscious mind is kind of running our lives. There's going to be master classes on heart healing, emotional freedom technique. I'm going to get other experts in there as well. And we're going to work through the chakra points as well. Not all at the very beginning. It's kind of going to be a gradual process. So it's going to be the first thing that I will focus on with regards to healing is feeling safe, because feeling safe was the biggest thing for me. And I truly believe it kind of underscores all of those things about feeling good enough, worthy, lovable, all of these things. I think I personally, my own experience is feeling safe will kind of lead to confidence in all of these other areas. So I want to start the Feel Good Academy with feeling safe. And then I also have the opportunity for people to work with me one-on-one with either like a single heart healing session, or we have 3-month sessions, which would be the heart healing package, which is to work on healing the enoughness wound, the love wound, the worth wound, the acceptance wound, and the trust wound, which are the core wounds which we first experience in our formative years. And these are usually kind of what we get through our biggest influencers who are raising us. So it could be your parents or your grandparents or whoever had the most impact in your life as a child.
All right, beautiful. So where can we find you? Are you online, in person? Do you have a website, social media, if we're interested in a session or service you're providing?
Yeah, so I've got my website. I'll share that with you. I'm on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. I'm trying to be better at being on Instagram, and I'm also on LinkedIn as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Well, that ends the first part of our journey, and I'm going to guide you into the second part, which are questions from our listeners and from social media. So the first one you touched on a little bit, but if there's anything else maybe you forgot, you can add. Tell us about your High Vibe Bestie Book Club.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we read a book a month. Those books, actually, we didn't do The Alchemist. We did The Four Agreements. We did The Anatomy of the Spirit. We recently did the Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. So it's all about personal development and anything along those lines. If it feels good and it feels like it's somehow that we can learn together and talk together and grow together. And the reason why I started it is because I wanted to start reading a book and finishing it. I've got so many books dotted around my apartment that I've started, and then, I get really into it, and then I put it down, and then I don't go back for 3 months. So I really wanted a space where I wanted to know that I can commit to reading a book a month. And so, this is what I do. And as I shared, I upload podcast episodes, and I have actually no idea whether or not my High Vibe besties listen to them. But it's a non-negotiable for me. Like, I want to do it because it adds to my growth and it adds to my journey. And I truly believe that it's been a really big force in helping me to move forward and take some big actions in the last few months as well.
Beautiful. Is it something that someone can sign up for? And is there any cost to it?
Yes, it's €8.88 a month. 8.88 is because, as I already shared, my mother passed when I was very young, and she communicates to me with the number 8.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
€8.88.
Beautiful. Number 2, out of all the modalities that you have studied, which modality is a part of your daily practice?
Daily practice. Probably emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping. Honestly, my daily practices change as and when they need to, but EFT at the minute, it's easy to use. And actually, I haven't been doing it daily, but I probably have, because even if I'm stressed on the street, I might be walking around and just kind of tapping over here and, just like breathing through it. So probably tapping.
Beautiful. Number 3, what inspired you to be a mindset coach? And what are some reasons that someone would seek the help of a mindset coach?
So the reason I already touched on really at the beginning was because my biggest struggle was with my mind, with those limiting beliefs and the negative thoughts that you start to notice are actually driving your life. And that would be the reason. Like, if you are feeling blocked, if you feel a fear about something, because this is the thing, like, fear is your teacher. If you're scared of something, it means that that's the thing that you need to do. Now, that doesn't mean I'm giving you permission to walk into a bank and rob it so that you can get the money. Absolutely not. I'm talking about the sort of fear that you might feel in applying for a job, or getting on a dating site, or even, some people just have a fear of going for a walk down the street, like, being out in public. I know that was something that I had a lot. Like yesterday, I'm going traveling for a few months, and so I'm giving up my apartment, and I was sitting outside on a bench yesterday thinking, where can I buy boxes in Malta? And within 20 minutes later, I was walking to the grocery store, and voila, there were these boxes right there. Why was I telling that story? Oh, yes. So I remember as I was carrying those boxes home, I was reflecting, there was a time where I would have been carrying home someone's trash, these boxes, and feeling judged, feeling embarrassed to be seen carrying these boxes. And I just kind of smiled to myself and thought, how far I've come, because here I am walking proudly along the street, super chuffed that I've got these almost brand new boxes, that I can use to help me pack up. So it's just like little things like that, feeling judged for picking something up, that's there. And it's good. It's not trash. It's there for you if you want to use it. So yeah.
Beautiful. Well, that was our last question. And as we've been talking, is there anything that you might have forgotten or something you want to share with the listeners? The floor is yours.
Thank you. I think I just want to share with everyone, you are so special, and you might not realize it. You might not believe it. You might not think it, but you really, truly are. You have everything within you to create the life that you desire. If your mindset is getting in the way, then figure out how to, kind of navigate that, because it can be changed. It might feel challenging, everything in life. If it feels challenging, then do it. Yeah, you are more powerful than you know, and just don't forget that you are unconditionally lovable. And I want you to know that you can love yourself unconditionally. It's safe to do so.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing. That is so beautiful. Well, thank you, Carolyn, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me on Ready, Set, Reiki.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor to chat with you today. Thank you for inviting me. And yes, lots of love to you and to all of your listeners too.
Thank you so much. All right, my wonderful listeners, if you want your question featured on Ready, Set, Reiki, reach out, www.readysetreiki.com. I'm Tracy Seawright, and this is Ready, Set, Reiki.